Hi, YouTube. So I'm sitting here thinking about tents, and I think I want another option for backpacking. I have an option right now. It's 3.5 pounds, pretty durable fabric, can fit me and my dog, but very snugly. And it uses trekking poles to set up. Uh, some of the cons to it are concerns about condensation, especially in the Pacific Northwest on the PCT. And the other thing is that it's really, I can't sleep in the tent without touching the walls. Like my dog and I were in there with my pack and we tested it out. And I was touching the walls the whole time, and my stuff was touching the walls the whole time. So this material, though, is a little bit thicker. So I don't think that may be as big of a problem, but it is heavy, especially for a trekking pole tent. So I want to look at one other option so I can have 2 different tents to take out with me on different trips and see which one I like better. So I'm looking at REI for sure, because if I make the wrong decision, there's some recourse for me. They have a really good return program. If you buy something and it does not work for you, they will take it back and let you get something else. So that's important. And they also give a lot of advice, but it's Christmas Day. Like, I can't call anyone right now. I can't go to backcountry.com and talk to a gearhead for the first time, but I was going to do it because I have so many questions about these tents. So I came here to talk to you about it. I've been doing research. So all last night and all today, today I also watched Bridgerton, but aside from watching Bridgerton, I've been looking at my phone and looking at the different pages that I bookmarked with the information on the tents that I really like. So let me show you what I have been researching for the past couple of days. I've been watching all the YouTube reviews. I've been going to all the websites. I've been reading everything, right? Because as a scientist, right, data is important, right? When you want to make a decision. And so here's the data I've collected so far. Let me share my screen. One thing that's important to me is the weight. I don't need it to necessarily be like crazy ultralight, because I'm going to have an ultralight pack and everything, but I'm thinking about my knees. Like, I am over 40 and I don't want to put a lot of strain on my knees. So I want to be as economical, but also as light as I can. The first thing I did was I went and I looked up Dyneema, because I kept hearing about Zpacks and I kept seeing Zpacks for people who thru hike. And although that's not an option even open to me, I think in 2021, because of closures, I do plan to section hike. And I was impressed with the fact that all of these campers or backpackers liked Dyneema. So the question is, what is Dyneema? Dyneema is a super strong, high molecular weight polyethylene fiber. And it used to be called something else. I forget what now, but it's now called Dyneema. And so these companies that are using this because it is very strong. Dyneema fiber is 15 times stronger than steel at the same weight. It is high strength, it is lightweight, and it is durable, resistant to moisture. So that's really great for, cutting weight. I looked up what companies sell tents that are made with this Dyneema fabric. Zpacks sells tents made from Dyneema composite fabric. Big Agness sells tents made from Dyneema composite fabric. I also did a Google search and I found this company, which I hadn't really heard a lot on YouTube about. So it looks pretty, they have their dogs outside. Wow. Okay. It looks pretty spacious. And it only has one door. No, it looks like it has 2 doors. Ooh, this one has 2 doors. Huh. I don't know. That might be an option. So I don't know this place, Seek Outside. I haven't heard anyone talk about this. The tents that I've heard people talk about the most are the big Agnes Copper Spur, right? So the big Agnes Copper Spur Ultralight 2 and Ultralight 3, which are about $500. I've heard people talk about Marmo But I went to their website and they don't have a lot of tents right now. I don't know, maybe because they sold them all. I don't know. Nemo seems to offer some pretty light tents. Like this one is the Dagger Ultralight. I saw some reviews of that one on YouTube. And I think the packed weight is 3, so it's almost 4 pounds, which is a little heavier than the one I already have. So I don't know if the Dagger would be right for me. Zpacks, of course, offers tents that are super, super light. So you could get a duplex that you use tent poles with, like the one I have. So basically I have this one, but not made with Dyneema. But look, they also have this free duo that I hadn't seen before. I didn't realize they had a freestanding tent because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about them, but it is specifications. So this free duo is 30.1 ounces. And I'm not mad about this at all. It comes in a couple colors. Oh, it comes in a lot of colors. But does it have 2 doors? Let's see. Features. Does it have 2 doors? A separate ground sheet is not required, so that's good. It packs down small, but I don't know if it has 2 doors. I'll have to look that one up too. So we've got this Aeolus Ultralight by Seek Outside. We've got the Zpacks has a freestanding tent. Dagger from Nemo looks like it's a little heavy for me, but Marmo, big Agnes. So this tent right here is the one I saw the most like hype about on YouTube for 2020. People really liked it. They it's got this mesh top here. So if it's not raining, you can, look at the sky, you can get good ventilation. It's got a privacy screen here. People like the color coding that the color coded pole and insert situation for easy setup. Like people really, really liked it. And they said it was pretty versatile for different, different types of habitat that you'll be camping in, different types of weather, different types of humidity. One thing I did hear were people complaining about how thin the fabric was and that it tore easily, like if you had dogs. And I have a dog that I may take on some trips with me. But they also apparently, I found this out, have tent footprints and accessories. So apparently they also have this tent floor protector that no one on YouTube was talking about. You put this inside your tent to protect the bottom. So I don't know if it's just that it's expensive and people didn't buy it, but if I was going to buy a big Agnes tent, I'd want to protect the floor. So I would probably have to buy this tent floor protector, but it's £1, right? So I guess my dog would have to carry it. Let's see. Bag weight, 2 pounds, actually. Wow. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing. I feel like I have a huge decision to make about this tent and I don't have enough information. So I guess I have to wait until tomorrow or the next day and actually talk to a gearhead at Backcountry or go online with REI and talk to someone, chat with someone just to discuss like this tent and how thin the floor is, because, reviewers on YouTube have said it's too thin. I'm going to have to talk to someone, honestly. So tomorrow or the next day, I'll have to either go to Backcountry and chat with a gearhead or go to REI and chat with someone there virtually about the different tents that are offered and get some questions answered from someone who has been out and maybe even been out in that actual tent. Big Agnes is a big contender right now. They also have, I didn't show you that. So let me show you this now. Big Agnes also has solution dye tent that's actually better for the environment and less susceptible to fading. It should be around in, now. I do not want the Tiger Wall though. I've just heard a lot of issues with the Tiger Wall. Has 2 poles here, but only one pole here. And then you stake out these edges, and reviewers have commented that it's not very stable. And so since I'm not going to be through hiking for 2,000 miles and have to carry this all that way, I think that I can deal with the 2 poles, like the extra weight the 2 poles would bring. So the Tiger Wall Ultralight 3 solution dye weighs packed weight 2 pounds 15 ounces. That's pretty amazing. And I also don't understand why do they give you all these other weights? Really, this is the most important. This should be at the top. Trail weight means you cut something, I guess. I don't know, 5 ounces, you cut maybe the bag that it comes in. I'm not sure what that means. So another question for a gearhead or for an REI advisor. Dyneema fiber seems like a really good choice. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is gonna work for me. I haven't seen any videos on it. It looks like there are 2 doors. It looks like there's 2 vestibules. Wow. So this actually might be where I want to go. This Zpacks Free Duo. I mean, and how much did it weigh again? It weighed 30, so 2 pounds. So that's the tent poles, the guy lines, the stuff sack. I think you need to get stakes. So let's see how much their stakes weigh. Holding power, good. I'll take it. So all I would need to get is like 8 or 9 of these. That's not very heavy. So, I mean, I think I'd be fine. This might be the way to go. This Zpacks Free Duo tent. It's freestanding. You don't need a ground cloth. I think the inside would be pretty durable too. And I wouldn't have to worry about my dog like puncturing it. Like people are saying that you have to worry about with the big Agness situation. I'm very intrigued. I mean, this might be the way to go. 2 pounds for all of this plus stakes. Yeah, that might be what I want to do. Let's see the colors. So you've got this brown, that looks like a green. This looks like an orange. There's a white. Oh no, this looks like an olive, and this is a blue. I like this color over here. This one, this kind of like sea foam green. I like this the best. Now I'm getting carried away. Also, the other situation I'm concerned about, so stop sharing. The other thing I was concerned about is having to crawl on the ground to get in my tent. Like again, over 40, knee problems. Some of the tents, the reviewers complained about the door being so like crouched and a tent pole going right over the door that you had to literally crawl in and out. So if the ground is wet, which Pacific Northwest, like the ground is gonna be wet, I don't want to be on it. Yeah, so I want to be outside, but I still don't want to be wet or dirty. So, okay, thanks for listening to me while I talked out what I wanted to do. So definitely freestanding, probably made of Dyneema just for the durability. And then I wouldn't have to protect the floor in the same way that with the big Agness. But, wait, hold on. But big Agness, so big Agness has what they call crazy light tents, which are made, so the carbon tents are made with Dyneema, and the platinum isn't. And the platinum was the one that I looked at and I thought, ooh, Copper Spur, made of platinum, super light, made of platinum. The Copper Spur Platinum is only 2.5, shoot, see, I keep going to the first one, lies. 2 pounds, 10 ounces. So it's heavier than the Zpacks Duo that's freestanding. However, it's probably more durable. The reviewers on YouTube were kind of vicious with Big Agness being delicate. Not on YouTube, actually. the reviewers online have been a little bit vicious with Big Agnes's fabric durability. They've written things like, I took my dog in and he split the floor immediately. I thought it would be a little more durable than that. I thought regular wear and tear wouldn't hurt it. You have to be really, really careful with this tent. And I probably am going to take really good care of my tent, but I do have a Mastiff and he does have nails. So if I got a Big Agnes, I would need to get that floor protector. And the floor protector is another pound or two. So, I mean, although I love the Copper Spur, people had so much like great reviews to give for it. I don't know if that's going to be the best with me because I would want to take my dog sometimes. So this is $600 plus the floor is another $100. And it's not even Dyneema. This is a thin, what is it made of? It says a nylon ripstop fly. Does it say what the rest is made of? Fly and floor are silicone treated nylon ripstop. So who knows? Yeah. Conundrum. And the other thing is, if I buy the Zpacks and it doesn't work out, I'm just stuck with it because I can't return it. I feel like that's my saving grace. I could buy it, and then if it really does not work, I can say, you know what, this doesn't work. Let me buy something else from you, and return it in really great condition, like after one use. But if I buy Zpacks, I'm just stuck with the Zpacks forever. The other thing about the Zpacks is it doesn't have that mesh top. Doesn't look like it has the mesh top. So if you're setting it up in the rain, it's just not going to get wet inside, but you don't have to worry about the fly and the mesh. And but then, so that means it's single wall. See? And condensation. Let me go watch a video about this freestanding.
That covers all the features of the Free Duo tent. For more information, please click the link in the corner or in the description below.
I think this is what I want. I think I found what I wanted. All right, so it's good that I came here today, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this up on YouTube because the processing, external processing sometimes does help. I'm more of an internal processor usually, but actually talking this out loud and then looking at the different tabs that I had open for the past 2 days, yeah, I think the Zpacks might be the way to go. Even though I was thinking that Big Agnes had such great reviews and some people didn't like the Zpacks because of condensation. You're gonna get wet. And I have down sleeping bag. I don't want to get wet. I don't want it to get wet. So I think stargazing is overrated. But I guess I won't know until I try. The other tent I have is an Alps mountaineering tent, and it also does not have a mesh top. It's a single wall tent, and it has a rain fly, and it has 2 doors, but that's for like 4 seasons. So if you're out when it's really, really cold, is my dog snoring? Yes, my dog is snoring. He's not impressed with the Zpacks. I'm so excited about this. Zpacks Duo, Free Duo tent review. Oh, look, they do have reviews. Oh my goodness. Free Duo, free. So they have, so they have a lot of reviews. I'm gonna be able to spend the rest of the day looking at the reviews, and yeah. Oh, but then Homemade Wanderlust. Why did she switch from the Zpacks to the Tarptent? I don't know. Oh, who is Tarptent? Let's go see what Tarptent's about. Tarptent looks like it's made with Dyneema. When will this ever end? I guess. Okay, so I think the issue for me is I just want to know what I'm getting. Even if I wait to get it a little bit, I just want to know what I'm getting. And I want that to be done. I have all my other gear. I just want to know what I'm getting. Double rainbow, arch pole supported shelter. All right, so, here's a video.
When you think about the Tarptent double rainbow lithium, I want you to ask yourself this question.
I guess the Li part is for lithium, and they call their Dyneema tents lithium. All right, so Tarptent and Zpacks are the two contenders at this point, and I'm probably going to get a Dyneema fiber tent and call it a day, because I don't want to have to worry about a footprint and my dog and all this other stuff. Okay. A hiker's work is never done, right? Or a hiker who wants to become a backpacker's work is never done, I guess. All right. So that's that for today. I'm going to go back to Bridgerton and YouTube Tarptent Zpacks. I'm coming for you. Big Agnes, I mean, you had a great showing. Maybe, oh, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. Okay. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you are also able to watch Bridgerton or Wonder Woman 84. And I'll see you next time. Stay safe out there and be excellent to each other.